Sister picked up the chili pepper bottle on the table and squeezed it onto Sister's head, because she felt that her sister was the most superfluous person in the world. The two fought from the living room to the kitchen, until their mother stepped in between them. Two people quelled this struggle. Sister's name is Tang Ying. She's 32 years old and very lazy, and she's not married. She stayed at home all day. She never wanted to share any of the family's work. Her bedroom was full of rubbish, a bloated fat body full of flab. She hardly ever exercises. Even a few steps away require riding a bicycle. On her way home, a man from the boxing gym caught her eye. Tang Ying stood still and didn't want to leave for a long time. For the first time in over 30 years, she had feelings for someone of the opposite sex. But when he looked at her, she cowardly ran away. But she didn't know that this man was about to change his life. Tang Ying's sister couldn't stand her lazy behavior. The two sisters often fought over it, seemingly feeling the family's dislike of her. In the end, Tang Ying chose to move out on her own, but she realized she didn't have the money to rent an apartment. When she returned home again, her mother handed her an envelope full of money. She took her things and left the house. When she met her father, she didn't even look at him. She seemed to have lost all hope in the world. He rented a flat with the money his mother gave him, in order to survive. She chose to work as a salesgirl at a supermarket she frequented. She appears very introverted on her first job, and the colleague who kept staring at her made her feel very uncomfortable. The next day, Howen from that boxing gym came here to buy bananas. The close contact left Tang Ying somewhat at a loss. Howen, who has paid the bill, forgot to take the banana he purchased. After work, Tang Ying found Howen with a banana. She nervously handed the banana to Howen. Then she left in a panic. The next day, the annoying colleague in the store continued to harass her. While she was trying to figure out how to escape, Howen came to the front desk with a dozen bananas, but don't know if he did it on purpose. This time he said he forgot to bring money. He left 2 tickets to his own boxing match as a deduction, but he still didn't take the bananas with him. Maybe she wanted to see Howen again. Tang Ying still arrived at the competition venue with her colleagues in the store. Although Howen's fighting skills are not weak, but against a strong opponent, he lost in the end. After the match, they went to a restaurant for dinner. In the middle of the meal, Tang Ying went to the washroom. That annoying colleague started having her ideas again. He bragged to Howen that Tang Ying liked him. He said that although she is not the type he likes, but he won't refuse to deliver it to your doorstep for free. The man's words infuriated Howen. He didn't have anything to say. He stood up and punched him hard, but after Howen left, an accident happened. She's a 32-year-old woman with nothing to show for it. She realized that her family didn't seem to like her. She found the courage to move out of the house. While walking past a boxing gym, she met the first man she'd been attracted to in 30 years. She took a job as a salesgirl at a supermarket she frequented, but her colleagues often harass her. An accident happened that day. That colleague knocked Tang Ying unconscious and dragged her into the hotel. When she woke up, she realized what had happened. She didn't hesitate to call the police. When she got back, she was in a lot of pain. After this incident, she had a deep-seated fear of men. But the good thing was that she would never face that colleague again. After this incident, she realized that she had to be strong. The next day, she went to the boxing gym alone. She decided to come here to learn boxing. She wanted to protect herself better. She followed the instructor to learn the unfamiliar moves. At this moment, she yearns to release her dissatisfaction and grievances in her heart. She also wanted to be recognized by others. The next day at work, Howen got drunk and came to the store. It turned out that he had been fired from the gym because he was too old. Although she didn't have much contact with him, Tang Ying felt sorry for him. When she got off work, Tang Ying brought him back to her house. She made him some tea to keep the cold away. The next day, Tang Ying came to the boxing gym to train again. Under the coach's guidance, she became more and more skilled. When she returned home after training, she was surprised to find that Howen hadn't left, and he even made dinner for her. Although the taste was really bad, but it still moved her to tears. This was the first time she felt someone's warmth towards her. It was also the first time she experienced the feeling of being cared for. That night, they undoubtedly crossed the bottom line. But just when Tang Ying thought she had found someone to rely on, Howen threw cold water on her troubled life. The next day, she was looking forward to cooking dinner with him, but he was met with a look of disdain on his face. After obtaining Tang Ying, he seemed to have changed. Now he's got a job selling tofu. Tang Ying couldn't help but approach him and question him, but she just got his disregard. This fleeting moment of happiness hit her as hard as the pain of being abandoned by her family. She didn't understand what she had done wrong. It was as if the whole world had treated him like an insignificant toy. Unconsciously, she began to dislike her former cowardly self. At this moment, she suddenly wanted to change herself. She wants to prove that she shouldn't be the one abandoned by the world.